We're going to get started in just a second here. I want to take just a quick second to welcome everybody on the Meerkat. Thank you for joining me. This is going to be a live webinar that we're doing on the power of branding. Thank you for joining us. I will try to keep track of both my webinar attendees and the Meerkat guys. Go ahead and feel free to comment away. I will try to be as interactive as I can. I'm kind of a one-man gang here today, so bear with me a little bit if I'm not able to acknowledge or get back to you as soon as I can, but I will definitely try to make sure that everything is as useful for you as humanly possible. And you can also catch, we're going to be recording this, so you'll be able to catch the replays as well. So having said that, welcome to our weekly Wednesday webinar, the first one of 2016. Welcome, people. I want to say Happy New Year, guys. It's really exciting. Very exciting to get started this year. I started planning out what we were going to do about a month and a half ago for Galaxy. And I've been actually just working with the various things. I'm getting us onto new and more interesting platforms. I'm getting our message out there. I'm really just excited to expand everything that we here at Galaxy is doing for the main purpose of just helping as many people as we possibly can. That's my goal here. So just a quick introduction for me. I know Matt Gleason is usually the one who does our webinars here. I'm filling in for him. And I am personally a marketing advisor here with Galaxy Marketing Solutions. I have been in sales and marketing for about 15 years now in a variety of industries, and I'm real excited to be part of Galaxy. I've been here for about 5 months. It's been just a great rocket ride, kind of a 5 months for me, and I look forward to meeting all of you guys and helping as many of you guys as I can. So having said that, let's just jump right in. This week's webinar is the power of branding. And I really just want to welcome you once again, and let's just get going here. So I'm going to be going here and just starting right away. So the first question I guess we should ask is, how important is branding? How important is branding? Most of us who are in business or who are doing marketing or promotion are aware of the importance of promoting a practice, but how important really is establishing and developing a brand? And just to kind of answer that question, I want to give you a little statistic here from Google. And this was pulled up a couple of days ago at about in the middle of the afternoon. And we just said, how many searches are actually happening on Google on a daily basis? And we went to this internetlivestats.com, which you see here, and we actually found kind of what surprised me. There's 3.2 billion, that's billion with a B, searches done, and that was in one day. That was from midnight to 3 p.m. that day. This was like Monday. Which means if you double it, you're probably looking at more like 7 to 8 billion searches done on Google. And having a brand out there and having a very strong brand is going to help you sift through a lot of that traffic. One of the main things you want to do and focus on while you're looking at branding is you want to stand out amongst the masses. You want to stand out and not be just one little blip. And this image kind of really kind of shows you what we're really up against when we're trying to promote a business or a practice. Thank you guys for joining me here. This is the challenge you have, and if you can see the screen, great. If not, I'll run through the slideshow at the end so you guys can see the images on the live stream, but I want to keep this rolling. Your picture or your message or your promotion is competing with literally millions and billions of other companies, businesses, individuals. They're all fighting for that little bit of attention. And so branding is really about how you stand above and how you rise above all this noise and all this traffic to be known, to be seen even. And the secondary stat here you see on the slide is over 1 billion names are searched on Google every day. So yeah, you have 6 or 7 billion like words that are, or searches that are done on Google, but out of that, there's a total of 1 billion that are just names. So if you have a particular business, or if you're a medical practice or a dentist, you know, like Dr. Jones, you know, Dr. Smith, you know, people will be searching for that particular name. So that's 1 billion searches every day. And the next question is really, you know, are they, you know, will they even recognize you? If they happen to see, if your name happens to be Dr. Jones, if you're unlucky enough to have, you know, kind of a common name like that, are they going to recognize you as the Dr. Jones in that business or in that practice? Or are they just going to be just another doctor or dentist? So I want to kind of go over with you guys the power of branding. Branding is a very powerful thing when it's used correctly. And I want to kind of go over with you, and I'm going to share some images with you. I'm going to share a picture with you, and I want you to, if you can, type in a comment or whatever. And the guys on Meerkat, I'm going to switch this over here at the end, and I'll have you guys do the comments at the end. I apologize. But I'm going to show you a picture, and I want you guys just to come up with which company this image belongs to. And let's see how many of you guys can get this. So there's the first image. So what company has that particular image? And give me 2 seconds here.
Domino.
Very good. Christine got it right. And the next one here, let's check this one out.
Pepsi.
Good.
Target.
All right. And the last one here.
Microsoft.
Yeah. The interesting thing when I do this exercise when I'm in front of people is how long it takes people to come up with the answer. You know, something like Domino's or Pepsi or Coca-Cola, sometimes they'll get the brand will be like, bam, you know. Other times Microsoft still does a pretty good job. Or if you've changed your logo and your branding around recently, sometimes if you show them the new one, they won't get it, but if you show them an older one, they will get it. And that's again the factor of branding and that recognition factor. Now I'm going to just look at colors here. On the screen here, we have just a kind of a color scheme. So what brand would be associated with these 2 colors here?
McDonald's.
Excellent. You're right. McDonald's, yes. Color scheme is a very, very important part of branding as well. It's not just a matter of having the right words or the right little catchphrase or even, you know, the right nice logo. A lot of times it's what colors you use. And McDonald's here, you'll see this particular shade of red is a specific shade of red. It's called the PMS color, which stands for the Pantone Matching System. It's a very specific shade of red that McDonald's has used, and that specific shade of yellow in their logo as well is a specific PMS color. So it's not just any yellow and any red, it's that color red, that color yellow, combined with the white of McDonald's. That is their color scheme, and that's consistent with every single thing they do, no matter where you see a McDonald's logo or commercial or whatever, you see those colors. Coca-Cola actually has a specific PMS color that they have patented, so nobody else can actually use that specific shade of red that Coca-Cola uses. That's how important branding is to Coca-Cola. And the next question we kind of go through is why branding? Why is branding so important? And there's a few answers to that question. The one thing, probably the most important thing, is it will increase your marketing effectiveness. I would actually estimate, just having my experience in sales and marketing, that having a good, strong brand will increase your marketing effectiveness and your promotional activities by about 10 times. I mean, if you have a strong brand, it almost doesn't even matter what you say. I mean, it does, but if people recognize your brand, they're just going to, it attracts people's attention like a magnet. So as you have that branding established for your area or for your market niche, what you say and the slogans that you put out are going to be automatically recognized, and, the people that like your brand or who would do business with you are going to pay attention. It's going to strike their attention and sort through all that noise that I showed you earlier. And boom, you have their attention enough that they can actually see what your message is. They see the special or the coupon that you have. Whereas if you don't have a good brand, it can be much more difficult to penetrate through and really get them to see your message and interact with it. The other thing you want as far as branding is you want to stand out from your competition. If you're a dentist or you're a doctor or a chiropractor or a local business, the chances are you have probably 20, 30, 40, in a large area, in a metropolitan area, probably like several hundred other types of practitioners that do exactly what you do. So having your branding is going to help separate you from all that competition, from all of those other doctors or dentists or chiropractors who are, again, fighting for those customers. If you're able to have a strong brand and people recognize your logo or they recognize your color scheme, or your doctor or one of your doctors has his picture everywhere, then they begin to associate that with the particular product or service that you provide. And in a doctor or in a lawyer or something like that, you'll see in the billboards, why do they put their faces up there? They put their faces up there because they want, as soon as you think lawyer, you see their face. Just like when you think about hamburgers, you think about McDonald's, or when you think pizza, you think about, Domino's or Pizza Hut. But you want your branding to reflect that, what your uniqueness is, what really makes you different, so that you can kind of bridge that gap and stand out. You don't want to just be the next dentist, or the next chiropractor. You want to be the dentist, the chiropractor. That way when they think, oh, my back hurts or my tooth hurts, they're calling you. They're looking for your name and your number as opposed to just dentist near me or chiropractor near me. And the next thing, why branding, would be you want to become the opinion leader of your industry. If you can be the opinion leader, then that sets you above just about anybody. And what I mean by opinion leader is an opinion leader is somebody who people go to for advice. They become that trusted person within a market or within a niche or within a profession that people go to for advice. If I have a problem with pain in my gums, for example, if I'm a dentist and I'm the opinion leader, immediately they're recognizing my name. If I'm the opinion leader, I'm also when other dentists and other practitioners go. So sometimes if somebody will get a type of job that they can't do or they don't want to mess with, who are they going to refer those patients or those customers to? They refer them to the opinion leaders. So you get a lot of referral businesses from other practitioners, whether they be, if I'm a dentist, whether it be a chiropractor referring a person for dentistry, or even other dentists who maybe don't do the type of dental work that I do, we get referrals that way. And then in the general public, you become an opinion leader as well, and that gives you a lot more clout, and people will actually look for you and recognize you when they go and do searches for the type of service you do. And what is the basis of your brand? There's actually 4 key aspects you really need to pay attention to when branding. And the first one here is your mission. We've all kind of heard, or most of us have heard in the business world, of a mission statement. And that really it's kind of become a little cliche, but it really is very, very important. What is your mission as an individual business owner or practice or business? What are you trying to do? If I'm a dentist, my mission might be to help everybody have a beautiful smile, or to make sure everybody has a healthy teeth and gums so that it's not affecting other areas of their mouth. My mission might be to make sure that people are not afraid of the dentist. and whatever that might be. Your mission statement or your mission can't just be about money. Can't be, I want to be rich and I want to make a lot of money. Because your mission statement has to be something that you communicate to your patients, your customers, or the people who could become your customers. And it has to be something that they can believe in. I'll give you an example. Apple Computers has a mission statement and has their own tagline, which is tools for the mind to help and enhance mankind. And I'm probably paraphrasing that, but that's pretty much what their mission is. Tools for the mind that enhance mankind. Now that's something that people can get behind. That's something that's cool, it's unique, and it fits with what they're doing. And obviously you can tell it's very, very effective because people who are Apple guys are very loyal. They have a ton of people, and their brand is instantly recognizable. So the first point you want to pay attention to is, what is my mission statement, or what is the mission statement of the business or practice? Second thing, what are your values? What is the most important things to you? One of our clients, Dr. Limbo, is very passionate about helping rescue dogs, and he actually has incorporated that into his practice. He has dogs, he calls them therapy dogs, and he actually has them in case somebody has anxiety or fear about going to the dentist. He has these dogs which are trained specifically to be there for people, to comfort people and help them, have a pleasant experience at the dentist. But that's part of his personal values, and part of his branding is really incorporating that in, his Facebook posting, his Twitter, some of the other promotional stuff that he's doing. His values are very much communicated as part of that, and it is part of his brand. Because when people think of Dr. Limbo, they think therapy dogs. And ask anybody here at Galaxy, mention his name, and that's the first thing that comes to their mind. And it is a very strong branding technique. What's valuable to you or what your values are may be different. If you do certain kinds of charity work, like for your church or just in the community, that may be part of your values. And it should be part of your branding as well. Like, these are some of the things that we think are important, and we want to make sure that our branding reflects that. The next thing, you want to have personality. And this thing I think is something that, unfortunately, many people or many businesses kind of fall down on, is what is your personality? Nobody, I shouldn't say nobody, but a lot of business owners and CEOs, those types of guys, they really want to be buttoned up, suit and tie, professional. I'm the expert. I'm very professional, very conservative. And you know what? If that's you and that's who your company is, fine. But make sure you're communicating that. But you also want to look for ways, again, to differentiate yourself. How are you different? How is your personality as a company different from the other practitioners or the other businesses in your area or in your field? If you're a fun dentist in a fun office, then you should communicate that. Your Facebook posts and your Twitter posts and your LinkedIn and all that stuff should reflect that, hey, you're a fun place to go. If you're more professional and you're the experts, you're the technical experts in your field, then your branding should reflect that. And you shouldn't be doing a lot of wacky-doodle kind of crazy posts. You should be in line with that and keep that personality consistent. If you're a gentle dentist and you really want to communicate that I'm gentle with my patients, then that should be part of your branding as well. Make sure that personality is included in how you're promoting and how you're branding your practice or your business. It's very important. And the last point here is, what is your big idea? What is your big idea? And your big idea could be something like, this is what my ideal scene would be. Like, in my perfect world, this is what it would look like. This is what my community would look like. My big idea as a dentist might be, in my community there's nobody with, confidence issues because of their smile. Or as a marketing company, our big idea here is, there's no companies out there, there's no small medical practices out there that are completely clueless about their marketing, and they're all doing extremely well. You look at a company like Apple, again, or Starbucks, their big idea might be, the coffee farmers of the world are well supported, and the communities that we utilize for our products are well taken care of and are thriving as well. These are all part of your values, but it's also your long-term vision, maybe for the world. So keep that in mind as well, because that can be an important part of your branding as well. And I got some of these issues from entrepreneur.com. That's where some of these issues came from, but it's absolutely true. The next slide here, we're kind of looking at some of the do's, some of the things you should really do for branding. And this is one of our customers, Dr. Jacobs. And I'm going to kind of go over some of the things you should be aware of when you're looking at branding. On the left here, we have one of his postcards, and you can kind of see he's got a nice picture of him. It's got our marketing message that we've surveyed, and we created that message. Obviously he wants to be knowledgeable and experienced. That's his personality. His picture is very warm and inviting, yet it still shows that professionalism. And it has a certain color scheme aspect to it. The next one here, the picture of him and his staff, again, the same message. So that message is getting repeated. But you have a picture of his staff. The staff, again, they're dressed very professionally. They're all very warm, but it's somewhat conservative, very professional. The color scheme matches the other postcard almost exactly. The background, the way they're dressed, the actual, the marketing message, etc. Everything ties in, and it's all the same across the different platforms. On the top right here, you have his care to share or referral card, which once again, kind of everything matches and everything is consistent. And then on his website, which is the bottom right here, you have, again, everything, the colors are the same, the message is the same, his picture is the same, everything is consistent. And that's the first point here. I've kind of already talked about it, but be consistent. If you're going to brand, you want to make sure everything in your promotion, everything you're doing, is consistent with that. And it's not just your promotional pieces, it's actually your own attitude, how the staff act, how the staff answer the phone, like what they say, how they greet patients and customers as they walk in the practice, how they're dressed on a day-to-day basis. Everything has to be consistent, and it has to be consistent 100%. The more you're able to do that, the more people will start associating all of these different elements with your practice, your brand, and they will start associating your brand with the product or service that you do. Another do that's very, very important here is being relevant and positive. In promotion and branding, don't be the guy that's like, well, our competition sucks and here's why, and we're so much better. You can do those types of promotions every now and then, but when branding yourself, try to stay positive. Try and tell people what you do well and why you're better or the best, as opposed to focusing on what other places don't do very well. And stay relevant. Keep everything that you're doing relevant to what you do. If you're a dentist, keep things relating to teeth and dentists and those types of things. If you're doing community outreach and that's part of your branding is just showcasing what other kinds of things you do to help out your community, that's part of branding and that's relevant. Just because it may not have to do with your product or service doesn't mean that that is not relevant. So that is relevant. Just don't do some crazy stuff like here's something totally unrelated to our brand or our practice and just start randomly putting stuff out there, because that's going to detract from that consistency and that brand recognition. All right? A few branding don'ts you should be aware of, guys. First of all, don't exaggerate and embellish what you do. I see a lot of, we do SEO here, and I hear a lot of SEO guys promise we can get you on page 1 in 2 months. That's exaggerating. If they're able to do that, they're probably doing something that they shouldn't be doing, or it may be they can do that for some and not others. But the bottom line, the real point here is, don't exaggerate what you can do. If you can fix somebody's smile, great. If there's certain things you can't do, like if I'm a dentist and I say, I can fix your whole mouth in one visit, well, if you know that that person is going to need 3 or 4 visits, then don't exaggerate. And when you're branding yourself and putting your promotion out there, don't embellish and exaggerate and say things that aren't true, because it will come back to you. And if and when it does, it will affect your brand. People will associate your brand in a negative way as opposed to in a positive way. Don't ignore your audience. Very important. A lot of times people have this clear vision of what they want to do, but you can't ignore the fact that you have to find out what your customers want or your potential customers want. With all of our marketing campaigns we do here at Galaxy, we survey, and we have our clients survey their customers so that they know what's important to them. Because you can have a very strong idea what you want your brand to look like here, but if your customers are really interested in this over here, and it's something that you can do, and that's what they really want, and you don't incorporate that into your brand, then you could be missing out on a lot of potential clients and your ability to really create a strong brand. So don't ignore your audience. And the last thing, just don't try to be everything to everybody. And that kind of goes back to consistency. Don't try to be the gentle dentist and the caring dentist and the professional dentist and the dentist who, has a 72 golf game or something. I mean, pick your message, pick your vision, find out what you really do well, what you really want to do well, what your customers really need and want, and then develop your brand around that. Of course, the other factors are going to be there, but don't try to spread different messages out, and because that will weaken your brand. It will weaken the ability for people to have that association of you as the guy to go to. I want to take a minute here. I know Christine's here, and there's some guys here on Meerkat, and I apologize, I've kind of ignored you guys, but I'm going to pick it up here at the end. I want you to imagine right now, take a few minutes, a minute here, and I want you to just kind of visualize what your brand is currently, or what you want your brand to look like. And I want you to take 30 seconds or maybe a minute, and you have to close your eyes. If you're not driving, then and close your eyes and just get a really good picture of what your brand should look like. Go ahead and do that. So what did you share with me? What does your brand look like? What is it? What did you come up with there?
We've made it so that we're welcoming to children and adults. So we're using a really specific TMS red with a gray that goes with it.
Okay.
And we've started to make sure that our photos are friendly enough for everyone. Like, we have different demographics in our office and different things that are going on all the time, and we want to make sure that our brand is reaching out to everyone.
Okay.
We always, like, the inside of our office is always the same. We always wear black. We always hand out the same gift bags, and we always make sure that the patient experience is the exact same every time somebody comes in.
Good. So consistency, that's good. Okay, cool. Well, great. I'm glad that it sounds like you're already doing quite a bit here to develop your brand. Hopefully some stuff that I went over here was new and useful for you. Great. I want to kind of wrap everything up here a little bit here. Imagine your brand if it was very powerful. Imagine if just literally when you think of Smile Big, your practice and that image and your logo, whatever, just comes to mind. Or imagine if it was recognizable, like immediately somebody sees that on a billboard or on a Facebook page or wherever they might encounter you or your office or your brand. Imagine if they just had that instant recognition. And that's really, I think, at the point of all branding. To greater or lesser degree, you're going to be able to fine-tune things, and hopefully some of the information I went over will help you. But that's kind of the ultimate goal is, you want to be powerful, have that powerful brand. You want to be recognized, and you want to be the go-to person. You want to be the guy that's like, well, my tooth hurts. Oh, you got to see these guys. Oh, my back hurts. Oh, you got to see this guy. He's great. That's the power of branding, and that's why when you have marketing and promotion that you're doing, if people already know or are familiar with your brand, they're going to see that, and automatically they're going to have a connection to it, and then they're actually going to read and see your message. So much of marketing is difficult. The difficulty of it is if you don't have any kind of branding, nobody knows who you are. Nobody can recognize what you're doing or your colors or anything like that. Now you're trying to, it sometimes will take 3, 4, 5 postcards or messages before they even see really what you're trying to tell them. Having that brand and building it up for you is going to give you that instant recognition and instant authority that's going to get your message seen. And the last little bit here is what we're doing today. Besides the webinars, we're actually offering our services and helping you guys, Christine and everybody else who's here. We want to help you construct your brand. And whether you already have a brand and you just want pointers, or if you're brand new and just starting out, or maybe you've never thought of branding before and this is all new to you, we're offering a service here. It's, and the idea is, imagine if you were a household name in your community for your service. What we're offering is a marketing strategy consultation. And some of the points that we go over is we go over branding, we go over all the points that we went over here. What's your vision, what's your personality, who's your target market, all those things, and then we actually construct the next year of marketing strategy for you. And this is like before you promote, before you look at a campaign and what you're going to do, you actually have it all set and all planned out for the whole year. Like, okay. And it's based upon, here's our vision, here's our big idea, here's our values, and here's our color scheme and everything else, and here's everything that we have for our brand. And now here's all the little things we have to do over the next year to not only build that brand on top, but also promote and market ourselves to be able to get those patients in and grow our business as well, because that's the most important thing. We're offering a strategy consultation for marketing. We'll develop that marketing strategy for you for the whole year. We charge $150 for it. And the nice thing about it is if you are planning on doing like a postcard campaign or AdWords campaign or a website or something that we would help you with, we will actually credit your consultation fee against that campaign. So if we developed a strategy for you and you say, well, I'm going to use another company or we're going to do that ourselves, totally fine, you're welcome to do that. On the other hand, if we developed a strategy and you say, you know what, we want you to do our post campaign, or we want you to do our next campaign, we will actually credit that for you. So you're not going to, you have $150 off. It's basically you got the free consultation. So that's offered to you. I wanted to thank everybody who was on the webinar with me. I appreciate it. My name is Jim Kurtz. I'm a marketing advisor. Give us a call. Let's get started on your marketing plan. Let's get you really rolling for 2016, and let's get your business rolling. Let's get your brand top of mind to everybody in your area. Okay? Thanks, guys. Have a great, great week, and we will see you later.